Whenever you doubt it, I'll be letting you know. Oh, girl, I want to be dancing with you forever. You see.
Hi, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I did one of these videos. Truth is, I think the UK life has officially started for me, and it's been one hell of a journey. The pressure is just so much, and it gets overwhelming sometimes. So the truth is, I barely have time for myself lately. There's schoolwork, there's assignments, there's so much to do, and it's really hard to keep up. But well, here I am again after like a month or 2 months, I think. Um, so before I get right to what I want to talk about today, if you are joining us for the first time, my name is Mama Stula, and I share my life journey from moving to the from living Nigeria and moving to the UK. So I started my YouTube channel a couple of months back, and I've constantly given progression of my journey, the entire process, and how far I've come. And then if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. For those of you who reach out to me on Instagram to ask me how I am, how life is going, if I'm okay, I really, really, really do appreciate. Thank you very much, because it meant a lot to me. Actually, it gets overwhelming here. So I just quickly want to do this video. It's something that just came up, and I thought it's going to be beneficial for people who are coming, especially those who are coming in January or September, to know, because this thing is serious. So I'm not going to speak for other schools. I'm just going to talk for Sheffield Hallam University, which is where I'm at the moment. And it's about the school fees payment, the initial enrollment fee, like the deposit before enrollment. So Sheffield Hallam has a policy of 50% before enrollment, and then the remaining 50% in 5 months if you are an intake for September. And if you're a January intake, you have 8 months to pay off. So for September intakes, you have till February to pay the remaining balance. Then for January intake, you have till September to pay the other balance. January is better. Don't ask me why. I don't know why they did that. That's up to them. But that's not why we're here. Now, the thing is, there are some students who failed to pay the 50%, and the admissions were withdrawn. Yes, they withdrew the admissions of such people, unfortunately. Now, this is what happened. The school initially gave 13th September as the earliest deadline to pay before enrollment. But with the Form A issues in Nigeria, which is very understandable, there are some persons who couldn't meet up that 13th. And with all the evidences, they were given extension. So for a while now, the Form A hasn't been reliable. There was a time it was, but after a while, it was no longer reliable, and it got so bad. So a lot of students had their money tied down in Nigeria. And what's worse, the exchange rate has hiked. It's like double the price as when I go here. Like, I mean, if you're paying, if you have to withdraw your money from the bank to pay black market, it's like double the price for CBN compared to when I go here. When I paid I think about 520 per pound, but now withdrawing that money to pay with black markets, we're talking 900 plus, which is almost 2 times the money, and it's ridiculous. So that's what most students have had to do. Now, unfortunately, some students were asked to leave because the school gave a deadline. That was okay. The initial deadline was 13th, but with the extension, they extended for like two months plus, which For me, I think it's very fair, but unfortunately, some students still had to fall victims because from A just refused to pay, and rather than okay, now one is to a case of one particular student when the first warning was given. That was like some 3 weeks ago. She called her bank, and fortunately for her, the next week they deducted the money. That was wasn't next week. That was last week. Yeah, last week they deducted the money, or week before last, a week after they deducted the money. But it takes another 10 days for the school to receive it, and then the deadline they gave them another extra 1 week, I think, and then the deadline was supposed to be Friday. Friday. This is the second week now since this thing happened. Friday, 2 weeks back, 4 p.m. Unfortunately, they locked them out 1 week to that time, but they were still students officially. Just they couldn't get access to their online portal, the Blackboard. That's what it's called. And then on the Friday, they sent them emails that the admission had been withdrawn. Now, for that girl who did Form A, it actually went through, but because the school had not received it, they also withdrew her admission. And after begging and stuff like that, they still refused. Said they're not going back on their words. Then there's this other friend of mine who had to withdraw the money and he paid black market rate, and then it couldn't still meet up. So the next day, which was Saturday, my friend paid the balance as well, but unfortunately the admission was withdrawn already, so they just refused to go back on their word. So what I'm saying is, please, I know I think I'm guilty of this as well. I've been telling people, oh, you need to leave, you need to come here, da 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 da. The truth is this: if you don't have a plan for the money, especially that first 50%, and you're coming to Sheffield Hallam, don't come. No, I'm telling you now. If you don't have plans, see, I know we all have faith, but chances are you cannot raise that money within August or December against January when you come here, because when your visa is out, they give you 1 month. Like, you can only come in 1 month at the earliest to the start of your program. Like, I came August, my program was September, and there is absolutely no way you can raise that full money within the short time frame. You're not getting a job immediately you come here. I did a video back then, some months back, on the job thing and the job situation and stuff like that. And even if you get a job, you're being paid £10.5, £9.5, at best £12. If you're very lucky, maybe you're so lucky, like there's someone I know who's a chef, he gets 14, 15, like that. That's like the highest you're going to be paid, which is very unlikely. Normal wage, 10.5, £11, £12 at the most. And you've got bills, you've got other things to do with money. So there is no way we'll be able to raise that amount in that short period of time. So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to tell you is, have the money, like the first 50%. Don't bank on. Somebody has even asked me this question before privately on my Instagram DM, and she's like, oh, is it possible to come and work for the other, that they'll pay the first initial deposit of 1,000? And I've also done a video of that's initial deposit of 1,000 or 2,000. Don't get swayed by it. It's just something that, I mean, see the school as a business. The business owner is just trying to drag clients with that nice icing on the cake, but it's way more than that. We're talking about 7,000 as initial deposit. So just take that 1,000 off your mind. That's not the actual initial deposit. It's just what you pay to get your cars. So what I'm saying is, you cannot get here and work and raise that money within that short period of time, even if you people are two. It's not possible. So before you come, please have a way of paying that money, but preferably pay in Nigeria before you come here. And then even if you don't pay, know that when you get here, you need to pay, so you don't fall victim of such things. I mean, I don't think anybody wants to live their lives. We all came here, we left our lives. I left everything back home. I am more or less starting a new life here. So going back is not an option now, because what am I going back to do? For some persons have even resigned their jobs just to come and chase a career here, go to school and stuff like that, and then sold everything. So telling somebody to go back, it's painful, and I'm sure you don't want to be a victim of that type of thing. So please, before you come here, have this money. It's very important. I'm sure there are some other schools, because I remember when I was doing my training at work, I overheard some students from Salford say the same thing, the similar thing about people who have been locked out of their portals and stuff like that. It happens. In fact, right now, most schools, before they give you cars, from what I've been seeing on Twitter, you have to pay the 50%. Some schools are asking for as much as £9,000. Some schools are asking for 7,000, 5,000, as opposed to the 1,000, 2,000 we used to pay before coming. I don't know about Sheffield's new initial deposits anymore. And then even if it's still same for January, I don't know what will happen next year, September. Things just keep changing. And now, because they know most students, they come here and they'll say they have the money, and it turns out maybe they don't have the money or something. They're beginning to put more stuff laws on this particular issue. So please don't come if you don't have a plan to pay that initial 50%. I have faith too, but don't stretch it, don't test faith like that. But if you have like options of getting the money, or if you have a plan to get the money, please by all means come. I'm talking about, when I say don't come, I'm talking to people who don't have any plan at all. They don't have any hope or any means of getting the money. You're not even expecting money from anywhere. All you have is, oh, you want to come and work to get that money. It's not possible. Then for the second payment, I feel like they might be a bit flexible. I mean, we've already done one semester. They can't possibly kick me out in the second semester. But I'm not saying that for a fact. It's possible. It's also possible they're just going to kick you out as well, because what happened was, most persons that were affected by this withdrawal, they called it a bluff. Like, they called the school threat bluff. So they didn't think the school was going to go this far, actually. Personally, I didn't think the school was even going to go this far, to be honest. But, well, they did. And to be fair, they gave a lot of time. They gave almost 3 months. So, trust me, you don't want to be a victim of that. I'm not, but I don't know how I'd feel if I am in this kind of situation. Honestly, I'd feel so bad, because it's like, at that moment you don't even know what to do. Your life, everything is just resetting. You need to re-strategize. The timing is so short. You risk immigration cases, you risk the chance of going back, and then at the end of the day, going back is not even the problem. It's like breaking immigration rules. I don't know if it's going to get that far, but in my head, I'm just thinking, will I be left back in the UK if shit like this happens? Sorry for my language. If stuff like this happens to me, will I be allowed to come back in the UK? Would there not be issues when I need to come back for another reason and all that? So you don't want to find yourself in that kind of situation. So I beg, have the money, have a plan. Don't just pack your bags and come. 1,000 initial deposit is not the actual initial deposit. 2,000 is not the actual initial deposit. Most of the schools will tell you 1,000. You're excited. After you finish paying, they will tell you something else. Some persons don't even read the fine print. They just see 1,000 deposit, like, oh, I'm coming to the UK. 1,000 deposit is not big. Anybody can afford it. I mean, well, any average person can afford it by the time you put in the work. But that's not the only money you're paying. You're paying big money. So if you don't have a plan for it, then just wait till you know, okay, this is your plan, this is how you want to get the money. Getting the money, it's realistic, and then you can come. So I just thought I'd run in here to say this before heading back to what I need to do. And then yeah, first semester is over. It came by this fast. I'm not going to promise, because I think I've promised doing a lot of videos that I've not been able to do, but I'm going to try to just do other videos to give more insight as much as I can. But trust me, work-life school balance is very difficult here for now, but it's getting better by the day. And then this UK, I think it's beginning to dawn on me that I'm actually here. But to be fair, things are now easier than the first time, a lot more easier. Thing is, when you come, the first 3 months are really difficult. First 3 months, first 6 months, especially for families with kids, it's difficult. It's the first 3 months is like the make or break it time, where you be asking yourself, did I make a right choice? Should I go back? Was it really worth it coming here? Because it's really difficult. It takes a toll on you. It tests your mental capabilities. Emotionally, mentally, physically, you will be drained. But good thing is, you know where you're headed. There's prospects where you're headed. You know it's just the starting point. So, and eventually it's going to get better. Definitely it gets better. So yeah, that's like the consolation. And yeah, it's getting better for me. And as far as stability is concerned, I think I'm beginning to get much more stable. But it's just the timing, sometimes it's really difficult, especially when you're choked up with a lot of things to do, which happens very often because of the work, school, and every other thing that happens in between. But I'll try to be as frequent as I used to be, or at least close to as being as frequent as I used to be. Sorry about my background today. It just popped up on my head, and I started squeezing time to do this video since I'm off work today. So yeah, that's just why I came to tell you guys today. Be careful. I don't want to see anybody have to go through the pain of going back or changing their path because of some stupid mistake, or because they just couldn't meet up. And then, you know, the painful parts for most of these people, it's not like the money is not there, but well, it's what it is. From banks back home just kind of messed everybody up. So that's actually what happened. Not like the money is not there, the money is there, but the banks are just not helping. And it just so sad that it had to get to the extreme. But then we're still hopeful that the student union and enrollment team and everybody else will do something about it, and hopefully get these people reinstated, especially the ones that have been able to pay. And we're just being hopeful. I mean, it's happening to a very close friend of mine as well, so it hurts me, but it's just what it is. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and ask your questions. And please, when you ask me questions on Instagram, watch the videos first. Don't just look at don't come. I don't have all the time to start answering things I've already said over and over again. Try to watch the video. So when you're asking me questions, informed questions that are actually worth asking, and not something I've said here before. What I want to be answering is questions for clarity, and not something I've taken my time to explain here. And hi, when you tell me hi and nothing, I may not answer because I don't know what to answer. I don't know what to respond. Am I supposed to respond hi? Am I supposed to, just tell me what you want? And again, if I don't answer you early enough, I will definitely answer. It's just maybe at the time I'm busy with something else. So yeah, those are just a few observations I've had on my IG. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you think I've misyaned, please leave it in the comment section without insult. This is my channel. If you don't like what I've said, you can unsubscribe or something, but If you feel there's something I've left out, if you feel there's something I should add, always tell me on the comment section. Don't attack me. You don't really need to insult me. I'm still learning. We all learn every day. Like I always keep saying, I talk based on my own experience and not your experience. It might be different in your school, but this is my school, okay? And then if you think this is happening elsewhere as well, please do well to put it there. Somebody else might be needing this information. I think it's happening in other schools, but I can't really tell which schools and all that. But so if it's happening at your school or any school you've heard of, just leave it in the comment section so people will be well informed. So until my next video, see you guys later. Merry Christmas, enjoy your holidays. Hopefully I'll be in your faces before the end of the year.